Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Betty Jack DeVine, and welcome to Betty Jack DeVine's Classic Pageants, our special entry in the Summer Replacement Program series, where we're going to show you wonderful classic beauty pageants from the past. You know, one thing that you love about the summertime in the South used to be was that you could always count every weekend some states having their pageant. And if you had a friend there, you could get them to send you the pageant in the mail. You could have a party for it. But they don't hardly have them on there anymore. So we go to, for our replacement, we replacing pageants in your life, trying to show you a beautiful Miss South Carolina pageant from the past, a little bit of the highlights of 1990 Miss South Carolina. And what better person to watch something like that with than my special guest. Darling, here she is. Look at her. It's Miss Sassy Poteet. Miss Sassy Poteet, and Miss Sassy, you know her as Miss Texas World of 1982 and second runner-up for Miss America World of 1982. Welcome, Sassy Poteet.
You are just too sweet, darling. You're killing me. You are just too sweet, though I am a two-time Guinness Book World's Record holder.
Two-time record holder. What in the world for?
Well, I am pleased to say that I do have the distinction of being the heaviest contestant ever in the Miss Texas World and the Miss America World, tipping the scales at a handsome 172 pounds at Atlantic City.
Golly, and that's some record to hold. That record hasn't been broken yet?
It has not in any major U.S. pageant to date.
It still stands. Well, you know, I know that you probably, I know you've done professional commentating on the pageants, as I have done professional commentating on the pageants, and you probably miss commentating on the pageants like I do because the pageants aren't on the television anymore for people to commentate on that have a special interest in it, like Betty Jack DeVine or Sassy Poteet.
And TV without a pageant, y'all, is just like a day without sunshine.
Absolutely. So if you've got, like I do, you've got a little collection of tapes, it's good to put the thing together. And speaking of, here comes the song. Sing along with me, Sassy. This is a special song. She's something special from a very special state. So a special state. She has a world of talent and grace, and a figure to match her face. If you want a date, you'll have to wait in line.
Bottom line it is, y'all.
Where's the crown of South Carolina? And you can bet she's had the judges in a stew.
A big old stew, y'all.
In a land that's famous for beauty. She's the fairest of them all. Miss South Carolina. It's you. Sassy Poteet, I'll dedicate that version of that for you, darling.
Thank you, honey.
Welcome to our show. Welcome to Betty Jack's Classic Pageants, where we enjoyed a few highlights of the 1990 Miss South Carolina pageant.
Ain't she the sweetest thing, y'all?
Let's meet our distinguished panel of judges.
Our judges. We're going to meet our judges just like that. We've got to introduce our special judge.
25 years. He's also no stranger
Do you want to
the
see
Miss
these
South
judges?
Carolina pageant, having judged
No,
our
you
state
want to
pageant
see
on
our
several
special
Y'all,
judge.
hang on. We're having a little bit of technical support difficulty.
We've got one of the Big Bother judges that's going to come and say hello to us, and she's going to rejudge the pageant as if it were happening now and as if she were judging. Come on and let's welcome Patsy from that Big Bother show.
Oh, I love Big Ball.
Fantasy Island and Matt Houston. She's judged the Miss California pageant on 3.
Just how are you going to do that? We're gonna sing. 1, 2, 3 o'clock.
They gonna sing.
5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We got her on around the clock tonight. Could you glad rags on? Join me, honey.
How did she ever think of anything like this to do, Sassy? Where did they get the ideas for this kind of talent?
She learned it all in church, y'all. Everything she learned in the Baptist church.
You think so?
I think so.
Can you see her in the social hall doing this for
I
them?
can. Honey, this is talent the likes of Vegas don't see right here, y'all.
Wake up,
She just works it and works it and works it. I'm telling you, and I'm so glad they put her on first.
And
This
there's
year,
more to come.
1990. I remember when we got the tape. We were so happy when we saw all these kids that look with the little cutest little puppets.
But y'all, this girl sets the bar. She sets the bar. By which y'all obviously be.
Unlike you, Sassy, you're sitting at the bar.
We're Baptists, you know we don't drink when
Oh, look.
anybody's looking.
Here comes a tribute to Elvis.
See if that little girl doll looks just a little bit like a monkey.
Listen to this one. She says, Elvis. Sassy.
Oh my Lord, did you all see
Look at
that?
here now, look.
I see a ventriloquist doll of color. Do y'all?
This is Bubba Lee Brown and Happy Pappy. Now, she just really pulled them out of nowhere, didn't she? Well, you
And
weren't
honey, she is
expecting
breaking
that.
ground politically and racially, all in the name of sisterhood and pageantry. And
Nobody
like I said,
expected it.
she sets the bar by which all talent will be measured. Many nights I've laid awake and said, Dear Lord, let me be like Deborah Ann Hucks. Just a little bit.
Here she goes. I'll tell you what. Now, this was just a sensation. And, you know, she should have won.
Biracial, bisexual, and ventriloquist.
Well, we don't know about all that. But her little... Here she
And
goes.
she had a little girl and a little boy. And a little...
Lord have mercy. What a number.
I
What a
just can
number.
only say to that amen and say amen again.
Say amen, somebody, Sassy. That's right. Let's go over to our big bother judge, Potsy, and find out what Potsy had to say about Bubba Lee Brown, Happy Pappy, and all of them in there. Potsy, can you hear us? Potsy, what about that talent? What about that marvelous talent of Miss Columbia Northeast and her ventriloquism doll?
That was
Not one, but
one
four
of the
dolls.
most amazing things I've ever seen on any pageant, and I have watched a few pageants in my time, and of course, you know, being here at Big Bother like I am, we haven't had any TV at all, so seeing anything is amazing, but that was overwhelming. I've never seen a ventriloquist act quite like that.
Potsy, it's 1990. It's Greenville Memorial Auditorium. All eyes are on you. You're a judge. What do you rate that act?
Just as the talent portion, from
That's right.
1
Yeah,
to 10,
Miss
I'd give it
Columbia
a 10.
Northeast.
I'd give it a 10.
Amen
for Miss
and
Columbia
amen. A good
Northeast.
call.
I'll
good
tell you
call.
what, the same thing from the Big Bother judges we got from our two judges here, Sassy Poteet and Betty
Yes,
Jack
ma'am.
DeVine. That's right. We know some entertainment. All right, then.
Well, thanks,
you. Potsy.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thanks for coming up.
See ya.
Here comes J.J. Foxworth, and one of the most wonderful things about having a collection of pageant tapes is that you can see a continuity over the years. A continuity begins to develop. Patterns begin to emerge. These girls go from town to town like gypsy, fairs, just touring, and they go from place to place, and they're this one, they're that one, and everything else.
Gypsies, tramps,
here
and
comes
thieves, I
J.J.
call them.
Foxworth. I'm telling you, she will appear in, I believe, at least two more Miss South Carolinas after this year. She's a very consistent, persistent contestant. She gets in there, she gets up to the top 10, but does she get to Miss South Carolina? No, she doesn't get to Miss South Carolina.
And I have told her time and again, people don't want to hear this classical crap, hon. They want to hear the devil went down to Georgia.
They want to hear Under the Double Eagle. They want to hear something that they can clog to.
Thank you. They want to hear a little fiddle playing, save the violins for melodrama.
People whip out this Itzhak Pearl and they don't know what to do over there. It scares them. I bet you everybody in there went out for a cigarette and get a cocktail when this one came up.
Say amen and a double amen to that, Betty Jack.
I've been to that Greenville Memorial Auditorium. I know how it is.
But now I will say the fact that she resurrected an old frock from her pageant the year before for her talent was very good, but dancing to flash dance with the violin was so much more effective.
but here she heard our complaint because she's going to country it up a little bit for us here. She's remembered her roots. She's getting back to where she came from. She
But
knows
I
who
have
brought
to
her
say,
to the dance.
too little, too late, as Meemaw would say.
Oh, gosh.
You can only milk the cow for so long.
Poor JJ. Always a bridesmaid.
Never the big one.
No, no, no. Well, that's just one of the fun things that we get to look at here on Betty Jack's Classic Pageants.
And boy, will we see her a few times on the Classic Pageant Network. Was I supposed to tell that?
We're going to come back in just a minute, and we will find out who the winner is, Miss South Carolina 1990. Hold on.